What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm Turbo John, and we're going racing this weekend. It is race week, and we're ready to go racing. Check it out. Comment, like, and subscribe. Well, that technically was not entirely true. It's true that we're trying to go racing. We're ready. That's not true at all. But what we got happening this week, Dig or Die is in Rockingham, and 252 is happening at Jacksonville, and we got Radials on the car. It is now Tuesday night. Racing is Saturday for us. Nothing happening on Friday. They do have testing on Friday night at Jacksonville, and I'm seriously considering not going to Dig or Die. Dig or Die backside race. That's one of my favorite events. That's where we cut our teeth on the no prep with the OG car and with the other car. But man, this car right here, it is not a fan of the backside. Now, we did last Dig or Die. We went out to the class winner. I think he ended up winning. Pretty sure he ended up winning. But he outrun us, put the gap train on us, and we run okay. So it was better. But man, managing this big block power is tough. It's really tough, so we're struggling. So I don't know where we're going to go. I don't know if we're going to go to Dig or Die yet. There's also a chance for spotty rains around. So it may be like a last minute decision. Obviously, if Jacksonville cancels, then that means we're going to Dig or Die because we're going to racing. If Jacksonville does not cancel, Rockingham looks like it's the drier of the two. They've also got that big jet dryer, so if they have any rainstorms, they can usually get the track dry. So we may do that. We have a lot of radial racing happening in the next month, though. So obviously, last time we went to Rockingham, car run pretty good on radials. Got a personal best in testing. Made a couple changes trying to get the wheelie out of it, and it wasn't enough, and so it still wheelied, went left. What I failed on is thinking about how much cooler it was. That's the reason it wheelied more on the second pass. What we did on the suspension change was not quite enough. I'm going to show you that. That's what this video is going to be about. We're going to show you what we're going to do suspension-wise for radials to make it better. I'm also going to show you, on the suspension settings. Use the baseline calculator, baseline suspensions, general instant center calculator. I'm going to show you what we've been doing on slicks as well. And you've seen it on slicks. I make the car squat, so the wheel goes up into the wheel well, and on radials, you want it to separate. So we made a pretty good change this last time. We made a good change, and you can see the difference on the rear end separation. Left the shock settings the same, and it's pretty cool. Let me jack this thing up. I'm going to jack it up, get the wheels off of it, and then I'm going to show you the 4 links. I'm going to show you all the adjustments that we have. I'm going to show you what we do. Every car is a little bit different, but the general rule of thumb and general consensus is the way we're doing it is the right way. But you have to see what your car wants. Every car is a little bit different. Check it out, guys. Hang on. All right, boys, here you are, the magical 4-link. This is what we got. We show this all the time. This is a 10 soldier rear end, and they've got their brackets on it. It's their complete Fab 9 style center section. Uncle Mike, of course, put all this stuff together, put all the brackets in, but these are 10 soldier low prep brackets. So essentially what these low prep brackets do is they're low prep because you can see the top bar is just a tad shorter than the bottom bar. So we got all of these adjustments. So they've actually got a really good calculator as well on their website, 10 Soldiers. If you go to 10 Soldier Race Cars, you'll see it. It's actually really good. The baseline suspension one is the one I normally use. I'm just more familiar with it. It's easy. There's a couple different ones out there too that are good. Performance Trends, I think, is one. There's a couple other ones. But so I'm going to show you all the 4-link settings. So when we were front side no prep, this bottom bar here was in this hole. The front one over there was in the middle. We did not change that one. The top bar was down one hole here. And then this bar was in that position right there, the third one down. And so that was, when I have it set up like that, it squats. And I'll show you the data log real fast. Let me insert the data log here from it squatting, and you'll see it. All right, guys, so this is on slicks. Down here, this line is the rear shock sensor, and this is the front wheelie control. And so, see the information is over here, rear shock and wheelie control. So this is what it does when you let go of the trans brake button with it set to squat. It squats and the front end comes up, and then it continues to squat. And about right there, you can see it even goes down a little bit more. And I think that is from the wing continuing to press it, downforce from the wing. So that is how I make mine squat. So this is what my instant center is when we're doing the front side with slicks. There again, everybody's numbers are a little bit different, but that seems to be working pretty good for my setup. So move forward to last weekend, we put radials on it. And so for radial prep, what I did is I took and went from this hole down to this hole. So let me show you what that did. Let me show you, be careful, notice the rear end, the separation on the back shock. It's actually quite amazing what it does. Rebound, I did not change on the radial setups. Of course, I did change it for going from slicks to radials. Basically, when you want it to squat, you want this to compress. So I have this in a different spot. It's down here. So the arm is out so it can squat. When you're on radials, you want it the opposite. So you want all this in so that it can extend out. So we got our Scarlett Solutions shock sensors back here. So check it out. So first pass, this is what happened. Okay, so this is the pass, the first pass where we got our PB when we went our personal best. And the top line here is front wheelie control. And then the bottom one is the rear shock. And you see traction control did grab it, and I did do a quick pedal up there also. But if we look, there again, so this is interesting, the rear shock. You can see those numbers, 1.16, starts coming up in the front. It is separating in the back, but you can see it is a very slow separation. And so we ended up a little bit over 2 inches of separation in the back, and it was way out there in time, a little bit over 3 seconds when it actually got there. So you can see the front wheelie control called it in the pedal, and then you're set. So that was what the rear setting was. Okay, so we done a little power wheelie out there. Car went to the left a little bit, but it wasn't terrible. So we made a change. So we were debating on what to change. I've got good notes, but I failed to look at my notes from the previous ones. So we left the bottom bar alone, and then we took this top bar setting here and went from this hole to this hole. And check this out. So the car, it actually separated better in the back. It was faster. The anti-squat changed. I'm going to show you what all of the anti-squat numbers were as well. So watch what it did. So I just downloaded the second pass, and that is the dotted line. So that was moving the upper bar up one hole on the rear end. You can see, and I raised the ride height to 1/2 inch as well, which that actually will give it a little bit more anti-squat. But you can see, watch the difference in the left rear. But it also, like I said, it wheelied more, and it wheelied a little bit higher out there. But if you come through here, it separates, and it separates much faster. So right there, it's at this point in the run, it's already separated over 2 inches more than what it did initially. So that was moving the bar one hole. And then we pedaled it, come back in. Like I said, it did wheelie more. You can see the wheelie, it got up a little higher. It was up 2 inches higher. Wheelie control just wasn't pulling quite enough out. That's the reason I pedaled it. And then it topped out the back at 6 inches, but it was way down track when it done that. So that is why we're going to add it. We want it to separate a little bit faster than that and shorten the actual instant center. Let me show you what those numbers are. So this was the first pass on radials. These are what the numbers are. It was pretty aggressive, but I figured it would work, but it did not. So this was the second pass. You can see raising the top bar did change the instant center length, the height, and the percentage. Okay, so you see on the data log, it wheelied a lot more. What I did not think about is it got dark, the air got cooler, it made more power. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make another change, and this is for radials. So I'm going to go ahead and move this bar up to this hole, and I'm going to move this one down to this one. And I may end up even actually going to this one. But right now the plan to continue on radials is to move it up here and down here. And that's going to change the instant center. I think it's going to be like 29 inches long. I'm going to show you the numbers, what it's actually going to calculate. And so with it being shorter, 29 inches long versus 41 or 50 inches, obviously it should pick up more in the back of the car. And that should make it go good. So that's the difference in my settings. So I just showed you all mine, what I'm doing. So y'all got a good idea of, you know, what to do if you have, even if you have a stock style suspension, your upper bar is gonna be a lot shorter than this one, so it reacts a lot faster. So you may not need it to be quite as aggressive. If they're equal lengths, if the bottom bar and top bar is the same length, then it reacts super slow. Everything is super slow. So the 10 soldier low prep brackets are, I mean, honestly, I love them. I think they're ideal. So this is where our settings are going to be for Jacksonville. If we go to Jacksonville, if we move the upper bar down one hole on the body, then that's going to move it to 30. It's going to drastically reduce the instant center length. And so what you're trying to do, and let me show you if we move the upper bar up on the very top hole as well, which I'm kind of leaning toward that. So it'll be right at 160%, 29, 30 inches long, and about 8.2 high. So what this does is when you move this back, when you move this point back, this imaginary instant center point relative to the center of gravity, in theory, this should pick up more in the back of the car than the front. And so that should stop it from doing wheelies. Like I said, I don't know where I'm gonna go. So I'm going to go ahead and change this right now to do radials, I guess, at Jacksonville. But we may end up at dig or die. But then we got a question. You know, some of these fast guys on the back, they are separating in the back. So maybe we should leave the radial set up in it and let it try to separate and let it try to lift on the nose up there. What do y'all think about that? It's 56% on the nose now, so that's probably going to be too much. So we probably would have to put some weight in the car to help leverage it up in the front. But I don't know. Y'all get in the comments. Let me know. What do y'all think? Blueface, them boys down in Florida, their mess separates like a radial car on the back. You know, Jarrett and them, theirs separates in the back. I don't know what their percentages are, though. Patches, I mean, all them boys is separating and not squatting. Let me know what y'all think. Get in the comments. All right, guys, stay tuned. I'll let y'all know. I'll make a post probably Thursday or Friday on the channel here, letting you know if we're going to go to dig or die or if we're going to be at Jacksonville. Appreciate it, guys. Comment, like, and subscribe. See you.